Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to do the calculations for the standardization of a sodium hydroxide solution acid-base titration lab. Alright, so there's going to be a bunch of calculations that'll be due for this, and let's go over them. Alright, first in procedure A, you have to make up a sodium hydroxide solution. They are asking you to prepare 150 mils of 0.5 from a 1 molar solution. So you're going to take a 1 molar solution and turn it into 150 mils of 0.5 molar. It's not dark enough. Let's try this green. Okay. In order to do so, you must do MCVC equals MDVD. Okay. This is a molar solution. So this is your MC, and these are your values over here for MD and VD. You're going to calculate VC, and then to figure out how much water you need. Okay. Take your total volume of your diluted and subtract it from the volume of your concentrated. In part B, you're going to use that solution that you made up and think it's 0.5, but what we have to do, since our measurements aren't 100% exact, is we have to use a standard, and the standard that we use, a standard salt, is KHP. Now, I can't stress this enough. KHP is not potassium hydrogen phosphate. It's potassium hydrogen phthalate. It has a mass of roughly 204 grams. That's going to be important. So this is now procedure B right here. Okay. So I give you a value, all right, on Blackboard in the assignment instructions. You need to figure out what is your actual molarity. So what we're trying to do is figure out what is the molarity of the NaOH we made. Is it really 0.05? Okay, so that's our goal. Our goal is to figure out what is the molarity of our NaOH. So I'm going to write that over here. Molarity of our NaOH. All right, so therefore we need to know the number of moles, and we need to know the number of, or the volume, I should say. Not the number, but the volume. So we need to know the number of moles of sodium hydroxide and the volume. And what we would do is, in lab, we would do a titration. We would dissolve the KHP, the mass that I give you, in water, and then we would add base and indicator to the KHP until it turns slightly pink. All right, so there'd be indicator in the KHP. We'd start adding the base. We'd measure the volume, and we'd reach that endpoint, kind of like the problem I asked you on the exam. The thing that you're going to have to do is take the grams of KHP that I give you. Okay, so this is going to be the given amount that I gave you on Blackboard. And you need to convert it, all right, using the molar mass, okay? And I set up your thing there, but the dimensional analysis. You got to get it to moles of KHP, which in turn you have to get to the moles of NaOH. Now, the relationship between KHP and NaOH is a 1-to-1 molar relationship. So whatever the moles of KHP that you find, so you're going to have to take the grams of KHP, the 204 is going to go down here, your 1 mole is going to go up there, and you're going to get it to the moles of NaOH, which you're going to need. If I'm going to find the molarity, I need the moles. So that moles is going to go right here. The volume will be given to you. The volume added to reach the endpoint is given on the slides. Or sorry, on Blackboard, I should say. Okay? So you'll plug it in there. Make sure it's in liters. Make sure this is in liters. It's given to you on Blackboard. I tell you how much. In lab, you would have looked at your burette and said, this is how much I added. Now, we now have this new concentration. We're going to use this confirmed concentration. So we have our new molarity of NaOH, whatever that equals. We're going to utilize that information to find the molarity of vinegar. Okay? The book tells you that you measure out, or the lab, I should say, tells you measure out 0.02 liters. So we already have part of it. What I have to do in this step is, I know my molarity of NaOH. I'm going to have a volume given to me that I use to titrate the vinegar. Okay, that'll be given on the slides. I got to solve for the number of moles. So this is kind of like the problem on the exam also. All right. Let me just put the little equal sign there. You're going to solve for the moles of sodium hydroxide. The relationship between vinegar and the sodium hydroxide is 1:1. So whatever my moles of NaOH is, they are my moles of vinegar. And I put it in there to solve for the molarity. So your first calculation you're going to show is how you made your solution. Your second is how you figured out what the actual molarity is of that base solution. And then you're going to use that base solution in a titration to figure out the molarity of the vinegar. All right, guys, if you have any questions, email me about this. It's going to be due next Thursday, the 16th at 2 p.m.